Perfect. So the recording's already been started by one of our mods and key supporters. So that's great. So again, thank you everybody for being able to attend this call. Of course, for anyone that's missing this AMA, it will be recorded. For anyone else that that is a part of our community as well and would like to listen in on this. So again, my name is Majid. I'm the chief of operations on the Taboo project, and this is uh, our monthly AMA that we run on the first Friday of every month. James was unable to attend this call as there was some other key priorities with around our project that he had to tend to, which is completely fine. He'll be here on the next AMA. He was here on the last one as well. So, I hope you're all, excited. I hope you're all happy. There's been a lot of I would say technical difficulties that we went through over the months. We've had a market that wasn't really conducive to growth. But one thing I know for sure is we do have a committed community that understands that we are a project that is still in our infancy. I look at this year and I look at it like Taboo 2.0. I look at it, I know we talk about our marketplace being version 1, version 2, version 3 and multiple versions that'll be coming after that, but for a project as a whole, I look at this second year as, Taboo 2.0. We've made a lot of great changes in this interim as we lead up to our marketplace launch. We are, I will say, on schedule, on schedule to be releasing our new marketplace on June 2nd. Um, which really in my mind is going to be not only fantastic in terms of having our working product, but we have a beautiful new UI design. The user experience is going to be much better. We have a plethora of content that we have from many shoots that we've done preparing for this marketplace launch as well. So we're very excited about that as well. We've also released our Taboo Punks, and we were able to do it ahead of schedule. We had that guaranteed timeline of the end of April. We managed to do it over a week early, and I know many of you are currently in the round one claiming process, which will end in about 15 hours. So if you're included in that claim round whitelist, make sure that you claim by the end of today. Do your very best. I understand from our last communications that even though if you haven't finished claiming from round one, you will be pushed to round two. But the faster we can speed this up, the faster we can move forward with working on growing the value of our taboo punks and the floor price and ensuring that all of us can see our punks and have them revealed so we can move forward from there. So that was one, I believe, one success story for us is we finally got it out. Very happy about that. We will be doing a reveal between the next 15 hours and May 10th, which in our previous communication recently, you'll see that is pinned in our Telegram and our Discord. You will see reveals for anybody that was able to claim on round one, and we will move into round two fairly quickly here as well. So that is one thing I want to share. Again, the marketplace is on schedule for releasing on the timeline that we have set. And I am very happy on some of the key areas of development on our project. I mean, last year, I understand we had delay after delay after delay on many areas of our project. Well, the beautiful thing is, you know, I believe we're much more and much better well positioned right now to take advantage of the next bull cycle. We brought in a community manager, right? We have multiple key supporters that are helping us in the background. We have a new creative director, which is the senior former head of Playboy magazine that is currently working with us right now as well. We do have a new personnel ad I will say we have a new key team member that we have just brought on, and we will be bringing that announcement to all of you in the next 24 to 48 hours. I will say you will all be very, very thrilled about who this person is, their background, and what they are going to bring to the table in terms of this project. And I want to make sure I don't give it away, but you can put two and two together and think, well, what is a key role that we have needed for a very long time, and what could that be? Hint, hint, without formally giving it away. So we have that's going to be being announced in the next 24 to 48 hours. We have our first claim round on the Taboo Punks that is finishing up as well. Our marketplace development is on track. Our ladies, our models, they're going to be doing a viral social media push and many posts across their socials this upcoming week as well. This upcoming week, we are going to be sharing some of our marketing strategies and moves with regards to the Taboo Punks. We are going to be sharing the new personnel ad that's coming in. We are going to be doing a lot, and a lot is already coming your way. And again, like I said, we are a project that is still in its infancy. James and I are going nowhere. We are staying put. We are putting the pedal to the metal. Our foots are on the throttle. We're trying to rev up this engine and this bad boy to get it back to where it was, to the previous hype and the previous all time highs, because every single crypto project out there is always trying to push to get to its previous all time high. And I believe we will get beyond that, provided the market conditions are right, the community stays loyal and supportive, and we continue to keep building. These visions that we have are huge. I mean, we've talked about live parties, we've talked about live events. We're going to be doing a Taboo Festival early in 2023, which, by the way, I will mention one thing. Our roadmap is going to be updated for this month, because I know that has been something in an area of contention for many of you in your minds. We will be having an updated white paper as well by the end of the month. I can confirm that by the end of this month, Certec will be finally wrapped up as well, right? So, really, we are now in a privileged position where once our marketplace gets back up, when all of our taboo punks are out, right, it is going to be smooth sailing. I understand right now that many of you are feeling a little bit down, a little bit defeated, thinking, my gosh, I bought at this price or that price or that price. But I'm going to tell you something. The price that we have right now is an absolute steal. Dollar cost averaging is king. If you bought at 0.03, if you bought at 400 million market cap, even 500 before, with a very little amount of injection, you could be doubling or tripling your stack. So, this is an opportunity, because we right now, James and I, the moment that these punks get revealed, we are going very, very hard on the marketing, not only on the punks, but we have so much marketing lined up on the token side. But as we've told you before, we have to be very careful. You all have to remember, we need to maximize on the effects of our marketing spend and make sure that the timing of it and how we're doing it makes sense. So I know we've talked about in the past about the, CNBC interview with Bloomberg and Fox as well, and that live interview. Well, we all know what happened to Solano the moment that went up, that the moment they went on that interview. Right now, the market, everybody is fearful, everybody is afraid. Doesn't make any sense right now to be doing that. It would be wasted marketing and exposure efforts, but that's all still happening. Everything that we said we're going to do is in motion, right? But you need to just give us a bit of time, as I've said. And I know that right now, with the way the community chat is going and the Discord and the Telegram, I see that there's more positivity in the chat. I see that people's confidence and belief in the project is coming back. It is my job to ensure that we continue that kind of momentum and make sure that all of you are happy, because we're working day in and day out for all of you. Nothing will make me happier than to have each and every one of you have immense profits and have your life changed off of what we're building here and the platform that we're providing. So again, Marketplace V1 is going to be live in the beginning of June. We are on schedule for that. Taboo Punks right now, we are going to be revealing from the claimers on round 1 this weekend, and we are going to start round 2 very soon. I will say one thing as well with Rarity Tools, if some of you are wondering right now, they need us to have our punks revealed at the moment, in order to be able to see all the rarities in the traits. But what we will be announcing sometime next week as well is, I have a little pie chart that our NFT artist made, and it'll show you the different numbers and figures on what's a legendary punk, what how many of them are in existence, and all of that. So I will be sharing a more general breakdown until Rarity Tools will provide the ability for all of you to see in more detail, and better scrutiny as well on your punk, what its rarity, and what are the kinds of traits that it has that makes it rare or super rare or legendary or just on the common side. So there will be a lot of announcements coming up next this upcoming week as well. So stay tuned for all of that. And again, I will repeat again, this is our second year. We're into our second year, and I believe we are more better positioned now than we ever were before. We just need to make sure the market conditions are right. And if any of you are wondering what's going on in the markets, especially with crypto, I will tell you something. There is no real catalyst right now that is causing Bitcoin to fluctuate the way it is. I know we had a big market dip yesterday. Really the crypto market right now is just mimicking the stock market. So when the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq goes down by 3 or 4%, that fear is seeping into the crypto market. But at this time, I don't see an actual catalyst that is causing it in the crypto market. We are just too closely intertwined with the movements of the stock markets at this time. That's something that I will share there. So, on my end, I will say a few things before we move forward and we get into questions as well. So, going to remind you all again, there will be a new team member that we are going to be announcing in the next 24 to 48 hours. You're all going to be very, very happy about that. With regards to the punks, before I move on, we're adding special utilities on the punks. And so, I would think twice about trying to sell your punks at very, very low prices, because we haven't even really gotten started on what we are doing with this and how we're even going to be integrating the taboo punks into our new marketplace. So I haven't even shared information around that as well, right? So these taboo punks, their value are going to skyrocket over time. So make sure you keep them and you own them, and you do yourselves a service by not allowing the floor to be as low as it is now. I'm not happy with the floor the way it is, but we have, once we reveal these punks and we move forward with our marketing plans and the kinds of trendings we want to do and all of that, some of you are going to be kicking yourselves for even trying to sell an unrevealed NFT for the price that you did. So that's something I will share there as well. And I think I'm good at this moment right now. I think I can move on to some of the questions that were on the question sheet that Matt, our community manager, has brought up. Oh yeah, wait, one more point as well. So with regards to staking, I'm going to nip it in the butt right now. So on a matter of technicals, and I've mentioned this before, the staking deposits and withdrawals are going to be going live again when the marketplace is up. We apologize for any inconvenience for any of our loyal stakers that have locked during this interim. James and I, on a 100% confidence basis, so you can be rest assured this will happen. There will be an incentive for our loyal stakers who have locked during this time. before it is opened up again. And it's going to be coming up very soon as well. I mean, our marketplace is only a few weeks away. Time does go pretty fast in the crypto space. I will say that. So bear with us, and and please wait for our marketplace launch as well, because that's what's happening there. So thank you everybody on that. So I will move forward now to questions. And I have a list of questions that were created, and then I will open it up to the floor thereafter for individuals to ask a few questions live on this call. So, the first question from Pastor Simpa: what project management lessons have you learned throughout the last 6 months? Okay, so I mean that's a good question. So I mean, it's very clear that we never had a dedicated CTO. So I do believe that that alone could have made a major difference. So I think one thing is having the right personnel with the right experience and skills in the given area of expertise that is needed on the project. Um, we didn't actually have a dedicated CTO, despite having some, we did have technical minded individuals, and we did hire people on an ad hoc basis depending on our current needs. But the CTO would have been very helpful on there. I would say, the next thing is on the matter of timing. When we share timelines, making sure we need to deliver on those timelines, and not continue to delay and delay and delay. I mean, at the end of the day, one thing we need to remember here is one thing I need to remember is, regardless of the reasons, people don't care. I mean, if the timeline is missed, the timeline is missed. There's no such thing as perfection, but there was a repetitive pattern of missing timelines, and while many of that was out of our control, and I say that you know honestly and forthcoming there, there could have been a bit of better preparation on sharing timelines, that maybe we had a bit more of a buffer room, so we could account for delays and all of that. So obviously, we're taking it very seriously right now on when we give timelines. Not only do we meet it, but we exceed our and your expectations on those deliverables. I think we've done a great job so far on the taboo punks, especially in getting them out early after we gave a guaranteed timeline. So I'm very happy about that as well. and and I would say probably another key point as well on the project management side, in my mind, really is being able to let go of certain team members. We have had turnover over the last, I would say, 18 months since we've, well, has it been? Yeah, it's been quite a while actually since we've been in existence, since our infancy. But not being afraid to pulling the trigger on bringing somebody new, into the project as well. But really, those are the three things. I mean, I believe having a CTO in place would have caused way less issues before last year. Um, I would also agree on the fact that timing of our deliverables when we share it, needing to deliver on that, needed to be improved as well. And I think now we're in a position where there's a lot more structure in the project. We have even more so chains of command that are in place. We have we have a community manager that's acting as middle management. We have the C-level executives. We have people on the ground game as well. We have there's a lot of organization that's actually currently going on in the background. So we've always said that this business is being run like a real business. But at the first year of a business, there's gonna be things that you don't know, and we learn as we grow with our company. I cannot come in here and say, with all the experience and skill sets and knowledge that I have in crypto, which I have a lot of it, I am worth probably five incomes and salaries of any C-level executive just from what I bring alone. There's always room to learn, there's always room to improve. And this is why I was saying before that this is Taboo 2.0. This second year is Taboo 2.0. And I firmly believe that we are evolving at this time. So good. So now I will look at the next question. I might offer the ability for people to ask questions alongside here, just so that it's not just me speaking the entire time. Um, are any team members attending leadership courses to further enhance your leadership skills? At this moment, we are not. I don't have anybody on our team that is attending leadership courses. And the way that I see this, I when I look at entrepreneurship and I look at the traits and the talents that are necessary to be an entrepreneur, I don't believe that you can learn that in a classroom setting. I just do not believe that. That is a morally, for me, that's a moral stance that I take. I remember there were people that I've known who went and said they're getting an entrepreneurship type degree and they're taking entrepreneurship classes. I said, you're not an entrepreneur. You're actually no different than someone who's an employee minded individual who's working and who wants to work in corporate, and you're deluding yourself into thinking that you are an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurs would not take these kinds of courses. An entrepreneur is somebody that takes risk when they need to. An entrepreneur is somebody that isn't afraid of failing. They push themselves beyond their limits and they do a lot of work in a very short amount of time to build the life that they want, and they learn as they go, because you never have a perfect plan ever, and you can't wait for the perfect plan. So I am not in a position right now to be giving team members the ability to go do leadership courses or anything like that. We're not doing that. I believe that despite some of our shortcomings last year, I think we've done a phenomenal job overall. That's how I see it, and I believe that the majority of our community sees that as well. Next question: can Taboo be listed in the metaverse category of CMC? It can, once we actually get the metaverse up. That is something that we will be doing. So good. I'll answer one last question um, by Taboo God, and then I will open up the floor to some questions before I move into the rest of these pre-planned questions here. So this next one is: several competitors have risen in past weeks and heading fast into the metaverse. How does Taboo intend to keep pace and front run them in the race for explicit slash adult metaverse? Okay, so here's the thing that we need to remember here. We are not just a metaverse project. We are not just an NFT project. We are also a entertainment company as well. We have a lot of moving parts to our project, right? When we say we're going into the metaverse, we're saying we're adding in metaverse to our roadmap plans. When we say that we're doing a Taboo festival, we're saying, hey, we are now adding in a live event on the entertainment side of our company. When we do photo shoots with our models, we're saying, hey, we are just like the Playboy, but in crypto, and we are working with these model partners who will be involved in some of these future plans on live events and our metaverse and everywhere else as well. So we are not a primary metaverse company. We are also not a primary adult entertainment token where we are like pornography tokens and how a lot of these other projects are. I know at times I get community members, they are sharing with me, oh, this project is now coming out and is gaining some traction in Steam. And I look at the name, it's called Porn XXX, or it's some ridiculous name that I can't believe they are so stupid to even consider making it that, because they're never ever in a million years gonna get a legitimate partnership from an established crypto. They're never ever in a million years gonna get into a top 10 exchange. They're never ever going to have more than the ceiling that they've set for themselves. So I really do not worry about competition at this point. I still believe with the quality model partners that we have another new one that we're going to be announcing next week as well. There's going to be a lot of like rapid fire announcements going back to back next week, actually. Um, you know, you look at their profiles, you look at their backgrounds, you look at their histories. You look at where they've modeled and where they model now. There's just no competition. I mean, just our model partners alone, no competitor can beat that. And we're not even going into any, I don't even have to get into any other part of our project. That alone, we beat every single project out there. And they're, I know for a fact, they're all dying inside. They all wish they had what we had, and that's why we get competition doing what they did with that previous CMC article, that negative article that happened, or when a YouTuber would talk about Chloe and what she was doing to try to defame her. They understood that if they could try to create doubt in the minds of our community on our model partners, they would create doubt on the quality of our project, but they failed at it. And I will tell you right now, I can pay $50,000 right now to get a YouTuber to talk negatively about any project. It's a paid video. And I'm glad that our community saw through that. But no, to answer your question, you know, I am not worried at all. But we do have a team right now in Dubai that is focusing in on the metaverse, and they are working on that. But we are in agreement that we need our V1 marketplace up first. And with that V1 marketplace, there's changes already going on as well. I mean, we're actually making changes a bit to the tiering system as well. There's going to be a premium marketplace that's going to come in shortly after. You know, I've been getting a lot of consulting, and I've been getting a lot of individuals who are part of these dev teams, and people that have a vested interest to see this project grow. We're talking some of our top holders who have the experience in these areas as well. You know, we're doing a little bit of a revamping on the business model side as well. You know, the types of NFTs that are coming out and the type of tech behind it. You know, there's a lot that's going on. I just want to make sure we can get this V1 launched, and I want to make sure everything is working. And as James says, gets our ducks in a row. We get our ducks in a row, so to speak, because everything will grow from there. It's like we're planting that seed. V1 Marketplace is the engine to our car. We need that out. We're very aware of that, and we're doing everything we can to make sure it comes out at the time that we have said and set as a timeline for all of you. So I'm going to open up the floor to, you know, a few questions. Um, and then I will get to the next questions. There's like 5 or 6 more on this pre-scheduled question sheet. So I'm going to open up the floor now to any questions here.
Thanks, Majid. Actually, you answered my question. I had a follow-up question. A few months back, there were some sneak peek of Red Theme Marketplace. I think we saw like NFT hanging on ropes. So is it this theme for the marketplace? Is it still on? Because it's something that looked really out. Uh, like it's really nice. It was really nice, and
Okay.
many people were looking forward to that.
Yeah, very good question. So okay, I actually want to say one thing with Grayscale. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we have the marketplace itself is incorporated, by the way. So we have that incorporated already. Grayscale. There's incorporations that have happened already on this project. So okay. And to answer your question, so what we did, so what happened is this, and this speaks to the adaptability of the team and us being able to pivot when we know it's the right move. So we went with a designer that was going to revamp the taboo.community website. And at the time, I still thought myself it was okay to separate our crypto informational site with our marketplace, right? I was looking at it as two different traffic channels where when we look at doing Google SEOs and everything moving forward in the future, we can be able to then have two different traffic channels to be able to then get, you know, users onto our marketplace and buy Taboo and all of that, right? And buy NFTs. But when that site was finished, near the end of that site being finished, um, near the end of that site being finished, um, we noticed and we saw offers and we pushed for a new UI team to design the marketplace. And what they did is they found a way to make the marketplace look better without having the Taboo community site needed anymore. So we scratched that. That's what happened. So we have, if you look at the taboo.io site now, you will see the initial starting point of the designs of the new user experience and interface. We decided to go with that instead, which was a vast improvement from all those dark reds. It actually kind of gave a red light district feel to the project, and there was an area of contention in some people's minds around that. Um, so we decided to move forward with that new design, and I love the white background. It's more professional, it's sleek, it's simple. I really, really love that. And and in terms of uniformity, it was important. Going from white to red, it just didn't make sense. So we actually lost money on that, and we paid top dollar on that. But we took the hit and we said, you know what, this new UI design is going to be better for the project. So, so yeah, yeah. So I hope that answers your question. I know some people are saying my voice is low. Let me try to put my AirPods on, and I will need your support and see if this makes my voice a little bit louder. Hold on. So I'm just going to hello. Okay. So can you all hear me at this moment?
Yes, we can, and it's slightly better now.
Okay. Perfect. 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 So I'm gonna just keep my AirPods in. Fantastic. Okay. Great. 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 So I hope that answers your question about why that website design, we moved away from it. So.
Yeah, sure. Fair enough, Majid.
Mhm. Good. So, any other questions? If anyone wants to ask a question now before I move on to the rest of those pre-scheduled questions that I have a list of. Victor, one of the incentives that we are considering is like something as simple as like a you know for one part of it, but James and I are we are going to give this incentive to our loyal stakers, and we are thinking about what that incentive can be. One of them was an airdrop of sorts, like of an exclusive NFT to our loyal stakers. So that was one idea that we had as well. So I'm glad that you brought that up. So there's no questions on this call. Um, okay, so there's a question from Halo Ringo. So yeah, the ladies have signed contracts where. So one thing with these ladies, dealing with these ladies and understanding their I would say their careers that they have and the brands that they have as well. We something that we've done very cleverly is we've helped them feel that they don't have to be feeling like they're working hard at this. This is meant to be fun. This is meant to be something as a new experience for them. And this is one of the reasons why we've had even our loyal early models like Collie, CJ, Jenny, even Chloe, happy to be continuing with us, as well as all these newer models as well. But they have signed contracts with us, and these contracts, it forbids them for an extended period of time to go to any sort of competitors that are in our space. So that is the first thing. And the second thing is, yes, they do invest in Taboo, and we do pay them a mixture of ETH and Taboo, depending on the shoots they're doing, and what the scope is of that as well. So it's not like they're with us at a no cost basis to the project as well. So Yeah, okay, and I think that this I think maybe there might be some confusion. Some users have messaged some of our mods and key supporters. This special announcement is there's a brand new team personnel ad that we've brought on, and I'm announcing that in the next 24 to 48 hours. This is a key team member role that we've needed for a very long time. I don't know how much more clear I can be on this, but you are all going to be very happy about that. And that is the special announcement that I wanted to make on this call. So that I want to make that very, very clear there. So, okay, good. So I'm going to go to the questions then that are on that list since people might be shy on this call. So, okay. Are you considering partnering or using Meta Hero Hyper Realistic Image Scanner to scan the Taboo girls so they can be in the metaverse? So, we are building our own metaverse in its entirety, first of all. As this is being built, if we feel that there is a benefit to Taboo more so than the partnering companies that want to partner with us, because I will tell you, many companies come to us with proposals and with different various kinds of tech or utilities that they feel will help us. James and I have put in so much funding and so much money into this project to get it to where it is in this very short time span of just over a year that we don't want to be selling ourselves short and partnering with companies that they have a benefit more than us in this partnership. I mean, we have a community of almost 50,000 investors, for example, and we have to keep our brand value in mind and ensuring that who we partner with is a good partnership. I mean, if Playboy came knocking on our door right now and said, "We'd like to partner with you," we would really consider that. Absolutely. But, when I look at this image scanner and all of this, I'm thinking to myself, you know, it's a possibility, but I want to see what our metaverse team is going to be doing, and then we can fill in the gaps where necessary. So that is how I look at it at this moment. So yes, yes, um, yeah. So Taboo God, you asked the question. Yeah, we have sneak peeks of the metaverse are coming. We have a lot of things ready, and we're going to be rolling them out. But again, as Crypto Lover accurately said, we are in a bearish market right now. So it is a matter of building and readying ourselves for the next bull run, and we're doing everything in our power to ensure that that happens, so that we are ready for it, and so that we can thrive well beyond where our all-time high was before. And I will say that we will, like we will. We're so invested in this team that there's no stopping us. I mean, what happened. The moment the conditions turn right, we're gonna blow up. I just know that. I just know that, and I know all of you know that as well. So good. So next question here. Are Taboo Mansion parties planned to be all over the world, including Europe? I think James answered this question on a previous AMA as well. He has, we were thinking of, parties in the UK, out in Thailand, definitely a few other countries as well. So it will be in various parts of the world, and those are we've confirmed that before on a previous AMA as well. So um, yeah, so this month I've said as well, and what's going to happen as well, so you're all aware, is we are going to be doing a bi-weekly report to the community. Every 2 weeks we're starting to do that as a matter of organization and transparency for the community as well. And we part of this and what we are going to be having for a deadline for before the end of the month is a full thought out and update on the roadmap with timelines. So that is something that will happen. I mentioned it earlier on if you weren't earlier here on the call. Um, Save Ben, so you would have heard that there was many things I brought up about that's going to be getting announced and done for this month. So we will be providing a bi-weekly report that will be showing what we will be doing this month on a matter of logistics and for the business, on the business side of things. So yeah, yeah, good question. Um, Seeing as Funk buyers had to register an email and user ID, has any attempt been made to directly contact these users from the pre-sale Google form regarding the claim DApp process and rounds? If not, I feel this is a failure as a team. As the end of the day, simple process to do a mail shot slash DM. So, at this moment, we have, I've told you all that, you know, the Google form honestly was like a semi-death for me. It was the worst thing that we could have done on the Taboo Punks. That is the number one reason why the Punks took so long to get out. It was strictly how we did our pre-sale. And James and I, at that time, we literally only had the community in mind. We were saying, you know what? Well, let's reward our early holders. Let's make sure that they can get in early and own these Taboo Punks as well. So we made a Google form and a pre-sale that was not conventional for NFT collection projects because we are not specialized as an NFT collection project entity anyways. And my, oh my, oh my, the number of hours that I had to spend trying to rectify that decision that at the time we did not know would cause so much problems. That Google form, as I said, was the problem. When I walk you through what went on, we got to the point where we were ready to mint the NFTs. Okay. Well, even before that, luckily I had the foresight, luckily, to realize that if we didn't make a change halfway through the pre-sale phase of these punks, this would have taken months more, months longer. That's why we brought the new purchase D app that you could purchase and you had to connect your wallet. That really saved a lot of time, and that's why anybody that bought from the purchase D app form is able to claim right now. With the Google form, it became a problem because people would fill it out inaccurately. It was hard for me to be able to see if the wallet was eligible in the first place. Then there was the issue with people sending funds from exchanges. You cannot airdrop an NFT onto an exchange wallet, especially if you bought from Binance. That was also a problem because I needed to get proof that of their screenshot of the internal transfer that was done on Binance because it uses a different ticketing system. All of that became a problem. But what happened was we got to the point of minting, so you understand the story, everybody. And then we find out the minting cost is almost $1 million. We're sitting going like, what is we can't pay that. We can't pay $1 million to mint these NFTs. So I had to go back to the drawing boards. I had to consult with many different devs, and then luckily we found out that very shortly after this issue came up, a new ERC 721A contract standard was available, where not a lot of devs were aware of it or knew how to work with it. So I was able to find a dev, which was Kat, that you all know is our NFT dev, who helped us create a brand new innovative, I would say, in terms of how not very many people are aware of how this works, because everybody's using still ERC 721. They're not using ERC 721A. It's going to take a long time for people to clue in that there's a way that you can reduce minting costs significantly. So then we did that. We finally found a way to be able to reduce the costs to a sustainable level for the punks. Then we said, well, oh my gosh, people already paid gas fees on the pre-sale purchases as well. So let's try to find a way to refund them. And again, we spent a long time trying to find innovative ways to refund. We looked at Open Zeppelin, which is another major contract standard. They promised us there is a way to do automatic refunds on these punks because at that point we said if we airdrop, it's going to be too expensive for both parties, the project and the user. So we were trying to find ways to reduce that. We tried. It didn't work. Then we found then Open Zeppelin said, "Hey, what about you can you'll be able to do it in a way where you can get people to pay for their claims, but at the same time we can automatically refund them in like USDT or ETH or something or some other kind of token." Then we found out that wasn't possible, right? And then there was more and more issues around gas fees and gas fees and gas fees. So we finally were able to find a way to make it so that the fees are respectable, they are not too high, and considering that we offered these punks at about one-fourth the cost of a standard NFT collection project, we felt that it was the least of all evils. We released the punks with the community having to cover that gas fee to claim. And I will say that we didn't really get much fun about it, and I'm very happy about that as well. So it was a disaster, and that's 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 a disaster that we finally got out of. So we're very grateful for that. And again, the reveals will start sometime this weekend, as per our last communications as well. So that was a good question. Okay. Um, what are your thoughts on adding a smart contract utility to the Taboo punks where you can lend and borrow your punks to people who can use to access the mansion parties? Okay, so this is something I want you all to remember. So again, the engine of our project right now is going to be the V1 marketplace that is coming out. We are already looking into and again, we want to just make sure we get this functioning marketplace working, all the bells and whistles, not the same problems we had from our first launch. So that is like the number one priority. But we have a special section for the taboo punks. We are going to be adding various utilities. I mean, we're even looking at NFTs and NFT staking, and I'm even having a section open on the marketplace for that. So to answer your question, this is a great idea, and I think I'm all ears and I'm open to that. I just want to get the V1 marketplace up, and from there, it's just going to be refinements and fine tuning, or just adding fuel to the flame, so to speak, right, to keep that flame going. And so there's going to be a lot more utilities added to the punks, which is also one thing why I'm very happy that Taboo owns a particular significant amount of them, because it is important for the corporate brand to own it, even though we never fully sold out, just because we know about all the future utilities coming in, and knowing that a lot of people are going to buy NFT art just for the sake of the art, and they may never use it for the purpose it's intended for. So I know that we will have at some point in the marketplace a dedicated separate section just for tattoo punks as well. So, okay, good. So have you considered both centralized lock staking with a higher APY and decentralized non-lock staking with a lower APY? I mean, I think 16% APY is more than fair at the time. It is centralized staking at this moment. The decentralized non-lock staking with a lower APY, the reason why we did not move forward with that was because on the previous marketplace, when we launched it last year, it, simply put, would involve topics like liquidity mining and some more technical sort of ways of doing DeFi that, in James and my mind, was overcomplicating things. We want, as we've said before, we want the marketplace to be simple. We want it to imitate OpenSeas. That's why there's going to be auctions. There's going to be making a bid. There's going to be buy now. There's going to be resales with price history on the on the NFTs that are on the marketplace. That's all going to be there on this launch, right? We wanted to keep it as simple as possible for our community. You know, I'd rather not have the community have smoke blowing out their ears when they get onto a marketplace and they're like, "What's liquidity mining? How does this work? How does that work?" Right? And then there's that whole educational side of things that we need to go through, especially with new investors that we want to attract, right? We want to be able to attract new investors onto our marketplace. And the simpler that we can make it, the better. That's one big thing that James and I have learned in the art of business. So that's why it's centralized at this time. Yeah, the surprise utility is going to be after the second round. When everything is revealed, then we will be announcing the surprise Taboo Punks utility. Okay. Any other questions on this call, by the way, before I go to the last 3 or 4 questions on the scheduled list of questions that I have? Okay. I guess there's there's no questions there then. Not to worry. I will go through the list. So if there will be just decentralized staking, have you thought about the migration from centralized to decentralized will be for the stake tokens that are centrally blocked? I know there are ways to migrate to decentralized staking, and we will revisit that at the time of when it's relevant for the growth of the product. When it's relevant, we are going to be looking into that because for one thing, right now, I will say the staking returns and how many people have staked for the foreseeable future, we are able to sustain offering those rewards. But I know that at some point in the future, we will need to move eventually to decentralized staking. But for now, we want to keep things as simple as possible. This was the best way of doing it. So, uh, the marketplace date of June 2nd. This next question, is it still on schedule? Yep. At this moment, we are still on schedule as well. Has a CTO been recruited? I mean, I did tease about the fact that we have a new key personnel team member that's been added. You can put two and two together for the individuals on this call and make your own assumptions until I make this announcement if it's a CTO or if it's somebody else. So I am not going to answer that at this time because there's no official announcement on this new team member ad. Hint, hint, wink, wink. That's as far as I'll go with that. So, will there be any illustration on Taboo Punk Rarity shared with the community, and will the Taboo Punks be listed on Rarity Tools? Yes. So, Rarity Tools needs the punks to be revealed. So that's why. That's one of the reasons why I need to. I believe it's the right move to reveal the claim punks after round one first, so that they can see some revealings because that may speed up the process of getting us onto Rarity Tools. The last communication that I had with them was that that they need the punks revealed before they can do anything else. So yes, and like I said, we will be having a bi-weekly report being shared, I believe later today, with the help of Matt and myself. I've given him everything that he needs to share for right now. So and with that being said, we will be sharing some illustrations and pie charts around what we can provide in terms of rarities and all of that as well, so you can have an idea of what they look like. So until Rarity Tools gives us the more detailed analysis of what you're all looking for in terms of the punk that you own and the traits that it has and the attributes and the rarities and the percentages of all those traits, all in a beautiful visual that Rarity Tools does for you. So yeah, and and so that is really all the questions that were given on the submitted questions for the AMA. So at this point, I'm going to offer it up to the floor for a couple more questions. I'll take one or two more questions, and then we can wrap up.
One quick question, Majid. So
Yep.
last time when Marketplace was up, we saw there was this performance issue. So is the dev team now doing like stress tests to make sure, because we'll start with images, but we'll move gradually to videos as well. So was it doing like intense stress tests on in regards to performance?
Absolutely. I'm just gonna again hint at it again. Let's just say that there's a key personnel ad that is ensuring that I have safety, security, and confidence in the development of the marketplace. So you can put two and two together and you can figure out what this role is and why that's keeping James and I giving us a breath of fresh air, so to speak, on the technical side of the developments of this marketplace. So before, I was handling a lot of it myself, and so I'm, aside from just tuning in and checking in on how things are going, we've delegated that role to someone else. So that who has ample experience on the tech side. So yeah,
Thanks, Majid.
yeah. So I'll take one more question and then we can wrap it up from there.
You can talk, Brian. I think no one has noticed that you have raised hand.
Yeah, anybody can speak right now. It's an open floor at this moment. I'll wait just maybe 30 seconds. If no one else has a question, then I will conclude the call. So
Hi, Majid. Thank you for doing this AMA. My question is, how is the rarity on the punks determined? Is it determined before they're minted, or is it upon reveal, or how exactly does that work? Thanks.
yeah, okay. So it's broken up into various categories. I think it's like legendary and super rare, rare and common, I believe. So and why we had to do some unreveals in the first place is because we could have gotten into a problem where if they were all revealed, people will know which punk they're receiving because the way that DApps work as a standard. And again, this goes back to us trying to reduce the gas fees to a sustainable level so you could receive your punks. If we added in the contract the randomization side of the claiming side, the gas fees would have been 5 times higher. 5 times higher. Because you might notice that having them received in chronological order, that does not mean that they're not randomized. That just means upon claiming, you don't get a random NFT number received to you. But everything is randomized in terms of uh, uh, the punks themselves. In terms of, like, let's say NFT number 5,000 does not mean it's going to be a more common punk. Does that make sense? Versus 7,000 or 9,000 or even the 10,000th one. So we've designed this in a way that it lowered the gas fees significantly for all of you, but it ensures that upon claiming, there's still the randomization aspect on in terms of what kind of punk you're going to receive and the rarity that it'll be. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I hope that
that
makes
that
sense.
makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So good. Okay, so with that being said, and it's been over an hour on the call. I'm happy to conclude the call. Again, one thing that I will share is, these prices, you're not going to see them for very long. So you know, if you're not dollar cost averaging right now to lower your entry point, then I don't believe that that's a sound investment strategy, right? I know many of you have done that, but I look at these prices and how cheap the tokens are as an absolute steal right now. So continue to dollar cost average because DCA is always king, especially with safe, legitimate, long-term projects like ours. Um, when it comes to the punks, as I said, the claim round is going to be finished very soon, in about maybe 12, 14 hours for round one. We will be revealing this weekend. We will be starting round two as planned on May 10th, as per previous communications as well. There is a new model that's on board. There is a new team member that's on board. We are on track for our marketplace being live at the time frame that we've set. Rarity tools will be coming for the punks as well. We're going to be doing a separate marketing announcement as well. Certec is going to be finished by the end of this month. We're going to have a bi-weekly report that's going to be sharing that as well. Roadmaps being updated. White paper is going to be updated this month. There's a lot of great things that are going to be happening in the month of May. And again, this is still just the beginning, as I always say. So with that being said, very, very happy to have been on the call. We appreciate each and every one of you as loyal supporters on the project. Just do me a favor and please keep the tempo positive in this chat as much as possible. Everyone who owns an altcoin also has dealt with a major pullback. But what I don't want is when new members come into the chats and they don't see a positive environment, they will not buy. It's that simple. I bought investments myself in a personal portfolio strictly from coming into a chat and seeing the positive energy of the members. That was the difference maker for me. So if that happens for me, it sure as hell will happen for new people joining the chat as well. So let's make sure we rally around that and keep the energy high, positive, and focused on all the amazing things that are coming our way as well. So thanks again, everybody, for being on the call, and I look forward to chatting with you all soon.